Hi, it's me, Roger, doing another update on a video. Anyway, it's past the holidays. Got to spend some fun time in the garage doing stuff like that. So anyway, I wanted to do an update on a new bow sight I got. It's a black gold Ascent Verdict Assault with the dial of death, which is the yardage dial in that you can do and stuff like that. This is a 3-pin sight with 19 thousandths pin diameters on them. And I want to kind of show you how I set this up to adjust first, second, third axis on the side. Anyway, I watched a couple different videos, different people how to do it, but the first, second, third adjustments are all the same. It's really how people are doing it. I've seen somebody put it on a post or their wall in the house. I've seen people mount the bow in a vise, different things like that. Didn't want to do that with my bow. I really don't have a setup for that. So one of the things I saw was people made a jig, mounted the sight to the jig, and did it that way. So let me see if I can kind of show you what I got. I've got a 2x4 I cut down, mounted the actual dovetail to the 2x4 right here, put it in my bench vise, and then took my level and leveled it, you know, left and right, leveled it, you know, up and down, different that way to get the 2x4 level. When I mounted this block, I made sure I put some good lines in here to make sure I was mounting the dovetail block level on the 2x4. So any adjustments I do to the sight, this is level, this is perpendicular to that. Everything has an adjustment right there. So one of the first things I did let me see if I can point this down right here to point out some stuff for you guys. I'm playing with a new tripod mount my daughter got me, so please bear with me. Alright, here. Alright, so anyway, this is the sight. As I mentioned, it's a 4-inch dovetail. Once you get your jig set here, 2x4 or whatever you're going to use to mount that in, and you've got your dovetail mount, or however you're mounting the sight, make sure it's that first axis adjustment. I took out a little string level I had because I do some construction work. This is the actual, set it right on top of the housing, get it adjusted that way, level. It should be fairly level from when you do this back and forth right here, but you adjust this by the actual screw here on the bottom. This screw is direct fit in here. This bottom one has a little small slot in it, so you can move the sight housing, kind of rotated that way to get this first axis right here done. All right. Once that's sighted in and you get this first axis adjustment, you deal with the second axis. The second axis is the actual. Let me show you guys here. Oh, playing with this mount. Hold on here. All right. Is the actual dial bubble right there on the bottom of your sight housing. So anyway, to get that done, there's 2 little Allen head screws around this fluorescent ring that goes around your sight housing. Lightly, and I mean lightly, just undo those, because if they get too loose, it's hard to adjust. Get those undone, and then you can, I mean, it just barely turns. I mean, and let it, I mean, just any small movement, you'll get that little bubble too far off to that work. So what I did was, this was the little Allen head key I got. Just a slight little tap on that ring would finally got it in there. That was the second axis adjustment. The third axis adjustment is the actual adjustment of the sight housing this way. So what you're supposed to do then is take, once you got your jig, you put this down at approximately a 45. Then I'm going to, for just purposes right here, I'm going to show this. There's 2 adjustments right here. This is the set screw for the third axis, and this little thumb screw is the actual adjustment for that housing rotational this way on that third axis. I'm anxious to get this sight out to the range and see how it does. It's got the Assault version has the micrometer adjustments for windage, and it's got the micrometer adjustment for elevation. The pins are automatically set center in the housing. I've read different things to where, you know, some people want them higher up in the housing so you get more adjustment in your wheel. But the one thing I found common is they said to start off, you actually want your sight, your dovetail mounted on these bottom screws to give you that much adjustment for your yardage dial in. So anyway, let me see, make sure I can see you guys here. Anyway, that's all I got. You know, I'm anxious to get this out, get it tried out. This is really the first what I call high-level sight I've had on my Halon. I'm anxious to try it out and see how it does. I've had just an old 5-pin, which, I mean, it was a good sight. I mean, I could really shoot well with it, but this one has a lot of the features that I want. The dovetail to bring it in and back, the dialage of the yardage. That way I can have the different axes to see to try to get the best grouping I have for this year for the 3D shoots I'm going to be in. Anyway, as always, I want to give a shout out for my buddy that owns the Napa store here in Wiley, Texas. Thanks for your support, man. You always help me out when I go there and I need my parts for all the different vehicles I've got. God bless you guys. Enjoy the holidays. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.